WISE does that.
Bill in West Hartford, Connecticut. Hey, Bill, go ahead.
Yes, hi, David. Yes, hi. I know space science and space exploration, and I think the space shuttle was a 30-year waste, just about, or a 3-decade, basically a waste, a delay in where we should be today in 2016. Let me explain, and it leads up to my one question for you.
Sure.
And it involves the election of 1968 and the horrible assassination of Robert F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy. If Robert Kennedy had ran in 1968, he would have beaten Richard Nixon. Now, in real life, Richard Nixon approved the space shuttle in 1971, and the Congress then funded it for the first time in 1972. My point is, in a Robert F. Kennedy two-term presidency that would have ended January 1977, I think he would have continued the Apollo program that his brother JFK started in 1961, so that the Apollo program would have continued on, even if it was just one mission per year after 1972 up to 1977, so that even beyond 1977, up until now, 2016, we would have a scientific lunar base on the moon with maybe 50 people, as well as B, 2 years from now in 2018 launch window, we'd be ready to go to Mars in just 2018, 2 years from now. What do you think of that, all this?
I think you're dead on target, bud. That would have been, just anything. Just for God's sake, do anything. Don't cut up the presses and the material, the machines that built the Apollo program. Kept it on going, and I totally agree with your assumption that you'd have a big lunar base now. You'd have a wagon wheel space station, not that thing that looks like an erector set out there, the ISS.
Well, the pieces look like they could fall off at any time, don't they?
Yeah. Well, there was a plan one time these people had, which really was quite logical. It was called Space Islands. And what they were proposing was taking the external tank of the shuttle. The space shuttle had to push the external tank down for it to fall back into the Indian Ocean. If the inertia would have put it on out into a low Earth orbit, they wanted to get like 12 or 14 things built in a big 1 mile circle and hook them all together. Think how strong those tanks are. They have to hold 500,000 gallons of cryogenic fuel, then get pounded for 2.5 minutes at 6.8 million pounds of thrust. That's a very strong structure, and it would have been a big wheel, and then they would have had 2 or 3 of them going through the center of it, connected in the hub, and that's where you do your weightless environment research, and then return to the gravity field, because this thing would turn. And we could have built a dozen of them things, and the initial cost of getting all the material up there was free.
Yep. David, what do you think is going on at Area 51 right now?